Welcome to another episode of Ancestors and Aunties. This is a podcast for Black women leaders who want to prioritize themselves, who want to stop putting other people's needs first so that they can protect their peace without feeling guilty or all alone. Now, this sounds like you. If you show up strong on the outside, but you're secretly struggling on the inside, these conversations are for you. I'm your host, Monique Johnson. I call myself a recovering HR executive turned energy leadership coach. And in these conversations, we reflect on the teachings of our ancestors, known or unknown, and the everyday brilliance of our aunties and those elders. So please know that this is more than a conversation. It's really a return to the self. It's a remembering, a reclaiming the holy, joyful art of being a Black woman. And I am so excited that today I am joined by a beautiful Black woman, Dr. Staci A. Smith. Staci is a certified master life coach, helping other women with personal transformation by creating a safe and supportive space where you as a woman, if you need to heal your inner child, learn to reclaim your confidence and step boldly into the calling God has placed in your heart, then Staci is the certified master life coach for you. All right. Hello, Staci. Thanks so much for being here.
Hello, Monique. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So please, let's just take a moment and ask, how are you arriving? How is your heart today?
My heart is so full. I just spent a 2-day conference with women celebrating just who we are and being playful and sharing the things that we do to walk into our fullness, to be healed and transformed in the places that hold us back, weathering the storms. So all of the things we talked about, it just made me smile because it's all of that and more.
You're doing that work. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. Well, Staci, I want to start this conversation the way we always do, and that is with a quote from Alice Walker, a beloved auntie. And I'm going to say this quote and then ask you just to tell us, what comes up for you, okay?
Okay.
So the quote is, to acknowledge our ancestors means we are aware that we did not make ourselves, that the line stretches all the way back, perhaps to God or to gods. We remember them because it is an easy thing to forget that we are not the first to suffer, rebel, fight, love, and die. The grace with which we embrace life, in spite of the pain, the sorrow, is always a measure of what has gone before. Alice Walker. I'd love to hear what comes up for you hearing her words.
What comes up is knowing, I think that's the biggest deception we go through when we're struggling. I'm the only one. No one understands.
Yeah.
And to hear words that bring that back, and in the hustle and the grind and the struggle and the day-to-day striving for survival rather than thriving,
Yeah.
we lose touch with who we are and whose we are, who we represent.
Yes.
Spiritually, through our family lineage, through our heritage. We lose that so easily because we're frenetically just going, and just taking sips of air, and waiting to exhale. Take a sip of air. You got to take a full breath.
A whole breath. Yes.
Feel whole.
That's so powerful. That is so powerful. Remembering who we are and whose we are. I love that. Thank you for that. That is really beautiful. A beautiful reminder. So please share with us when you think about the ancestors for you, right? Who comes to mind? Who are your people? Who do you belong to?
I think of it in terms of my lineage and knowing that not just the people that I see in my immediate life make up who I am and poured into me who I am, my beliefs, my tendencies in my work. When I think of the stories we're told about ourselves, that sometimes get distorted, it's because we don't have the clarity. I think of as a people, everything up to including even the way we speak, the sounds that we make come from a lineage we know not of. Truly. There are sounds that we make that are from African dialect.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it is, but we do it. The way we interact, we do a and you go to Africa, hear that and everybody knows exactly what it means.
Right.
So that
right.
part of it, to me, a big part of it, of just what makes us uniquely who we are. And then
Yeah.
from a family lineage perspective, I look at the people in my family. My cousin did our family history and found all of the magnificent things that were just unknown. And I
Yeah.
think the biggest tragedy that happens is the lack of knowledge. The Bible says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
knew who we were, if we knew who we were before enslavement, before we came to America, before the reason we were taken from the places we were taken from in Africa was because of what we knew. Skills
Yes.
that we brought. That was
Mm-hmm.
intentional.
Mm-hmm.
If we could remember we possess that and
Yes.
are in alignment with the creator because we
Mm-hmm.
created,
You created.
how
Yeah.
differently we'd show up in the world. So
So say more about that. Yeah.
in the
Say more
space that
about
I'm
that.
in
What
right
what is that
now,
what does that allow you to do? What does that allow you to do, having that memory, having that connection?
what I'm doing now, what you're doing now, as women redefining how we show up in the world and what we offer to other folks, other women.
Yes.
This is I've had 3 careers, things I did that were uniquely different. I started
Yeah.
out in banking. I went into teaching, and I was working for a nonprofit writing curriculum about our history and culture, which is what caused me to go find my heritage, my lineage that I did not
Yeah.
know. I knew tangent, I knew what my cousin found, but for the DNA test that said I am of the
Yeah.
Bioko people, the Tikal people, the Hassab people, now, and the Fulani. Now I know this. And it
Yes.
just made
Yes.
me feel connected. There
Connected.
was a part of
Yeah.
my identity that I just never knew. I always am a person, when I hear other people speak in other languages, like, oh, I wish I had a language I could speak. And it
Yeah.
turned out I've been learning Spanish, and the Bioko Islands, they speak Spanish.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Who knew? My son
Yeah.
fluent in Spanish. So it was just little bit of a settling of, on this side of life, I am connected to people who, there's things I didn't know about that allow me today to create things
Nice.
that I'm able to
Yes.
offer, a path to healing to people who believe that identity lies about themselves, that made them not be able to show up.
Right.
And I know it's not
Right.
just for women, it's also for men. And so the significance of being off in your alignment, if you're
Yeah.
sailing a ship, if you're 1 degree off, you will end up on the wrong continent because drift is so significant. So look at, if I kept going out of alignment. I mean, it's funny because I was a math major. I knew I was a creative when I was young, but
Yeah.
you saw me be a problem solver before we got on this call. And I just
Yeah.
don't stop. I just have a
Right.
tenacity of like, I got to figure this out.
Gotta figure it out.
That also
So
comes
last
from creativity.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear the passion, right? Knowing, like you said, where you come from, being able to name your people and to be able to connect that to what you offer, what you do. Now, here's another question, Coach,
Mhm.
right? Aside from what it allows you or inspires you to do,
Mhm.
what does it inspire you to be?
It inspires me to truly be what comes from my heart rather than being in the corporate world. HR, yeah, I was in banking, so a lot of
Yeah,
rules and structures, and you can't wear this and you
yeah,
can't wear that, and show up this way
right,
to
right.
be perceived as valuable, to be
Mm,
perceived as worthy. I show
mm-hmm,
up now
mm-hmm,
knowing that I am worthy,
mm,
and I
mm-hmm.
continue to learn more and more. And as I
Yeah,
teach other people that they're worthy,
mm-hmm.
it helps my worthiness.
That's beautiful.
Because I believe now I was placed here for that. I've been
Yeah.
through what I've been through for that. So I can say, come on, take my hand, sis. I
Yes.
know the way out. Well, Harriet Tubman, I know the way out.
You know the way out. Yes. Yeah. It's making me think of, again, right? Ancestors, right? You're connecting. And then the aunties, right? You're being that auntie now. So
Yeah.
in what ways are you showing up as the auntie for others?
I have a heart for, I say I'm a child and trapped in an adult's body. So I have a heart for the younger people. They're attracted to me. There's a lightness and a playfulness that I bring. So it's very easy for me to reconnect with students I have now. They're now in their 30s and their children, and they run up to me when they see me, and just saying, I'm older than you. I've seen more life, yet I'm approachable, and I'm not just like, you young people, blah blah. And I tell my friends when they say that, I'm like, you have no idea what these babies are going through. You don't know how hard it is. It is nothing like what we've
What we
experienced,
went through. Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
they're
love that.
just everything. They're just expected to be mini adults in so many places, and there's no innocence left. We had to be innocent for at least a decade. Those of us
Yeah.
that were really, blessed and protected. There were people who obviously had that innocence stolen, but the expectation was that we were to be innocent till,
Yeah.
through high school, hopefully, to a certain degree of just not having to cope with, strategize about, identify with, how do I keep myself safe in the world? Because the community also came around. Yeah, it takes a village. It's because the community came around and helped be your family,
Yes.
be your
Yes.
aunties, and you trusted people enough to listen to them when they said something to you. Now kids look at you today like, I don't know you. Who are you talking? And they will say that. And kids who haven't been able to trust their parents certainly can't trust a stranger like that. Not without some proof.
Yes. So if you're showing up for people, you're showing up for younger people in ways that they know you are understanding them, right? Understanding their context right now, as opposed to layering on to them your experience. So in that way, you're the auntie being accessible to younger generation, passing on your wisdom.
That was the word in mind, accessible. I'm an accessible person who's seeing.
Accessible auntie. I like that one. I might have to add that to the podcast. Ancestors and accessible aunties.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's real talk though, because there are some aunties that we may be afraid of, or some aunties might tell us some things that we don't want to hear, or not ready to hear, or don't want to hear the comparison. It's all about a sense of, again, readiness, right, and feeling that the person that we are talking to is accessible and is listening. Yeah, no, that's
And
precious to
sees
give
us and
someone.
loves us. To see us and love us as we are.
Yeah.
See us and love us. See them and
To
love
see us
them.
and love us. Yeah. And I like that too, because what you're pointing to is that I don't want this to be a romanticized conversation, that every ancestor and every auntie had the best intentions for us or gave us the best advice, because some of it, that's going to go into my next question, some of it may not have served us so well, right? The idea that, you have to do for everyone else before you do for yourself, right? Your role is to take care of the family. Your role is to make sure that you're out there doing things in the community, and you eat last. So these aren't always messages that are serving us, right? So yeah, so I'm curious as I say this, what does prioritizing yourself mean when maybe there have been messages that told you not to prioritize yourself?
That is right in line with the things that I talk about I have a workbook, No More Lies. And I've created also an archetype quiz. And one of the archetypes is somebody who always takes care of everybody else and is burnout, resentful at everybody else, but then ashamed, guilty for saying, hey, I need to take care of myself.
Right.
What I do, what I've done, what I've learned to do was understand that I can take better care of my family, the people I take care of, if I am at peace, if I am whole, if I am rested, if I'm relaxed, if I'm healthy.
Right.
Knowing, they say it on the airplane because people won't do it. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first.
Yes.
You can't help it with you're passed out and you can't breathe. You're on the floor. You can't help. And it's comical, but to know the psychology of our humanity is that we have been told, serve everybody else first at your own expense.
That's
it's
so
one
deep,
thing
right?
But you're giving yourself away to your own demise and to the demise of those that you would be helping. You can't help anybody if you're not healthy, whole, sane, whatever else. There's a list.
Exactly. But Stacy, here's where I get so curious about this for us. Like, so when did you learn that your worthiness is not tied to your sacrifice?
That's funny. I said this on another podcast. My sister and I used to look at each other when my mother would do something like, we ain't doing that. We were young. There were just the little thing, the eating last or the whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
less desirable piece of food or what. Like, we ain't doing that.
You ain't doing that.
But
Something
to
inside
little,
you.
but we knew something. But then as we moved forward,
Mm-hmm.
it had to still be developed because you fall into patterns. You say something that you heard your mother or grandmother or whoever else say, and you're like, I thought I was never going to say that. So to actually carry it out, really, I think when I learned to start healing
Mm-hmm.
Staci, that Staci was worthy of love, that Staci
Mm-hmm.
could take care of Staci. Was there an
Yeah.
emphasis on it? I think it was, after life tragedy, certainly health challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I had a kidney transplant. My kidneys failed 32, almost 30 years ago. I had a kidney transplant
Wow.
8 years ago.
Mm.
And it was stress.
Wait,
And
can
I
we just
walked
pause
away.
there? Can we just pause there, sister, black woman, right? You just shared that you had not one but two kidney transplants.
No,
Is
just
that right?
one. Just
Just one.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One.
Because
And
when the kidneys failed, I didn't have a transplant for 13 years right away.
oh, I
I mean, they
see.
were failing over time.
I see. I see. Let's just pause and honor that, right? Like, major health concern, a major health issue, a transplant. We know the stats, the all of the disproportionate rates of different diseases in our communities. We
Yeah.
know about, what it takes to like be on that list. So let's just like give a moment of thanks. I don't want to like rush past that, you know?
And the
Yeah.
miracle was I was not on a list. I didn't get
Wow.
on. Somebody prayed for me. God
Mm-hmm.
said, the healing is done. It might not look like it right away, but the
Mm-hmm.
healing is done. I was like, who's talking to me? Somebody's praying for me, but I heard this voice.
Yeah.
And 13 years later, the transplant happened, but probably about 12 years later, a woman called me and said, hey, I want to give you a kidney.
Wow. What? A woman? Just some random woman or a
I
woman
didn't
that
know her. She heard
what?
of me
Yeah.
through my sister who
Mm-hmm.
knew her best friend. And her friend knew
Mm.
to donate a kidney because her husband had donated a kidney.
Wow.
So shout out to Kristen Weckworth for just
Yeah.
being that woman who
Mm.
prayed and listened to God and said, hey, I want to do this for somebody who's a single mother, because she was when she saw this happen. So it was just one of those
Mm.
divine alignments. Our blood
Yeah.
matched perfectly. We had the same thing to eat every time we went to do labs. And I say this
Yeah.
down to the donut. And her daughter's birthday is the same day as mine. So we were just,
Oh, wow.
yes,
That is divine. That is divine intervention for real.
yes.
Yeah, what a gift. And so it makes a lot of sense, right, that you've got this incredible passion for giving back, right? And for uplifting others and pouring into others because you have literally been poured into, right?
Literally.
Literally. What a gift. Oh,
And
wow, what a gift.
understanding how to preserve it, because
Mhm.
understanding that in many of these autoimmune type diseases, when our bodies attack ourselves, is
Yeah.
based on stress. I had high blood pressure at 17. I was a stressed out teenager. So
Wow.
stress is not what happened, but how I
Yeah.
responded to it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so in that preservation, back to the self-care, how do I
Right.
keep my mind and my heart at a level of not causing my body to attack itself?
Right. 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 No, that's amazing because some of us ignore the warning signs. Some of us ignore what stress can do to us. Some of us ignore how it shows up in our bodies, right?
Right.
And then we get this amazing second chance at life. These are my words. Please don't let me put them into your mouth, right? But these are, I'm reminded of when getting a second chance at life and having your body, right, constantly telling you what it needs. It's almost like you can't ignore me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learning to tap in. I mean, that's one thing whenever I go to the doctors, they're like, your body. So I'm like, yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of the gift.
Yeah.
was learning my
Yeah.
body. 'Cause I, go to the doctors and like, oh, take this and do that. And it's like, would you take it? The benefits
Gosh,
outweigh
yeah.
the risk. Oh, then you take it.
Right. Yeah.
I
Because
got
you were still
fired.
that little girl. You're still that little girl who was like not wanting to eat the thing that your mother gave you. It's like, no, I don't want that.
Tell me why. Tell me why that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So that sounds a lot like you are clear on how to protect your boundaries and have real clear practices to protect your boundaries.
In most cases, I still have a few
Mm.
places where I have to push
Hmm.
myself past that.
Hmm.
And it goes back to probably, I want them to like me. That's my little
Hmm.
girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
For
little girl
sure.
still needs a little, like, it's okay. You can say it. They'll still like you or they won't. And that's okay too. But you have to say what you need to say.
Yeah.
And you
Mm.
say it in the most loving way you can as an auntie, right?
Right.
And use that
Yeah.
wisdom to have some boundaries around even how I express what I need,
Right. Right.
because it's heard better.
Yes. Yes. It's so deep because, as a coach, I imagine this is what you help your clients get to, right? That awareness of why they may not be paying attention to those boundaries. Oh, because you want to be liked and you're afraid of
Yes.
hurting someone else's feelings. And what's so powerful is that even as a coach, right, you're saying, hey, I struggle with this too. We all do.
Yeah. There's this
Yeah.
moment. Like,
There are
oh
those
man,
moments.
still here.
Yeah.
Man, here it comes. Here it is again. But yeah.
Yes. So let's take it there, right? Because I know, and I want to invite you to share more about your work in healing with women who are learning to care for their little girl, right?
Yes.
So how do you do that? What are the ways by which we can be tender with ourselves when our little girl is crying and afraid that she won't be liked?
Yes. I think first, as we get to know her, I wrote a workbook. The first step is finding your little girl. Sometimes that little
Mm-hmm.
girl is hiding, and you
Mm.
have to find out, why is she hiding? What's she afraid of?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, to be playful with her. What did she like?
Yeah.
Have those, reflect on those memories. What made her smile?
Mm.
Then we find out, what was it that she believed? Was it the light? Was it the, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, nobody cares about me, I'm the only one? The list goes
Yeah.
on. To
Yeah.
identify what those things are so that they can be offset with the truth. Where
Mm-hmm.
you find your truth, whether it's in the Bible or something you
Mm-hmm.
can just say to yourself, a
Yes.
mantra, something to, affirmation to say, I am worthy to be loved. I am
Yeah.
fearfully and wonderfully made. I am,
Mm-hmm.
whatever our words are that said that. Because
Right.
then we can walk into freedom, because we have to reaffirm to ourselves. We have to, just like we believe the lie for however many decades, we have to tell the
Mm-hmm.
truth
Mm-hmm.
to cancel it. We're going to use
Yeah.
cancel culture in our favor in this. And so I do that as a workshop now with clients to walk through it,
Mm-hmm.
even in groups. And it helps to make more sense of the
Mm-hmm.
process, because there's so much shame attached to our initial
Mm-hmm.
belief. If
Yes.
somebody violated them, they feel like they might have been wrong. If somebody told them you'll never be anything,
Mm-hmm.
and believing that, they're afraid to
Yes.
stand up and try. If they've been invisible, one of the
Mm-hmm.
archetypes is somebody who played hide and seek. And it's like, but when it's time as a grown woman to stand up, can you do
Right.
that? Can you
Right.
come from
Right.
hiding? Will the real you please stand up? That television show.
Yes. 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 And what you're
So,
pointing to too, Stacy, is so powerful because we're learning a lot about neuroplasticity and how we can literally change our brains
yes.
by the words that we use, the words that we tell ourselves, the
Mhm.
conversations that we have with ourselves can
Yes.
change some
That
of
self
the
talk.
earlier neural pathways
Yeah.
that had us disbelieving in ourselves. Isn't that amazing?
Yes. And one other thing, we honor that little girl because whatever she did at the time, especially if she
Yeah.
was very, very young, we honor the fact that she was looking out for us and taking care of us the best way she knew
Mm,
how. And now the final thing is our turn to take care of her
yeah.
and let her go
Yeah.
play.
So, right. Yeah. So I think yeah, that is a really deep concept to think of the little girl actually taking care of the adult woman, right? And now it's our turn as an adult woman to take care of the little girl.
Yes.
Yeah. That
The
her
profound
ways,
statement. I
Yeah,
got 2
she had
years. My
wisdom.
7-year-old was running my life when I was 52 when I figured that out. And
Yeah,
that was shocking because I don't know, 7-year-old
right.
running my life. What am I doing? But when I felt that way, there she was. And she's like, I got this. This is what we're
Hmm.
going to do.
Yeah. Because that goes back to what you said, right? There's an innocence when you are a child and you don't know, right, the negative ways or the negative talk, right? When you don't
Yes.
have that and you're just like being a child, you're free, you're creative, right? You're taking
Yes.
risks, right? You don't see things as risk. It's
Right.
not until we get older where we're told certain things and we're inundated with certain messages that we start to
Right.
doubt that
Yes.
natural curiosity and playfulness, right?
That's so true.
Yeah. Well, this has really been. I didn't know where we would go in our conversation, and I just love the fact that we can go wherever spirit calls, right? And I
Yes.
appreciate your vulnerability and your sharing, and I appreciate again, the work that you do. So, say a little bit more about Staci Speaks Hope and what it is that you're offering women and their little girls.
The way I say it is in a sentence. It's a long sentence, but I help women identify the lies they believed as little girls that keep them from being what they're called to be, their God-given
Mm,
calling.
that's beautiful.
And it
That's
makes you
beautiful.
pause.
Yes.
What lies did I believe?
Yes, yes, for sure. And so, how can people get in touch with you if they want to do this work, if they want to access your workbook and really explore these lives so they can start living their truths?
My website is stacyspeakshope.com with an
Hmm.
Stacy with an I. And of course, my podcast is called Staci Speaks Hope as well. So follow
Yes,
that. I'm also on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. I'm out there.
excellent, excellent. And we'll make sure we drop all that in the show notes. Well,
Yes.
Stacy, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm so glad that you are here, that you listened to your little girl, that you listened to the prayers and responded to the treatments, and you are still here to pour into others as you pour into yourself. Thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
for sure, for sure, for sure. What a treat. This has been Ancestors and Aunties. We might have to change this to Ancestors and Accessible Aunties. And if you heard anything during this conversation that inspired you or might inspire someone else, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And if you'd like support in just help prioritizing yourself, how to do that better, right? How to stop putting other people's needs first so you can protect your peace, particularly if you're a Black woman in leadership. Please go to innervisionscoaching.com, click book a call, and let's connect. In the meantime, thank you all so much and create the day you need.